Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast. Thank you guys for loving last week's episode with AKA Scarlett. Truly a refreshing conversation. To those of you who didn't like it, well, you stink. No, it's your prerogative to like who you want to like. But AKA Scarlett's awesome. She's a lot of fun. And we had a cool conversation. It wasn't all about MLB the Show, and I understand that was a critique. I get it. But the point of this podcast is for you to meet new people and learn about them. But today, we're back on the grind. We're back to what you all expect from this podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about the Big Legends and Flashbacks collection. Scott Rolen. I knew it'd be expensive. Even I was surprised at how much SDS actually wanted you to collect. So, let's go talk about it. Thank you guys for being here again. I'm going to hit this silly button. Here we go. Bingo, bango. Why am I on this screen? I don't know. I just forgot to change it. Let's look at Scott Rolen. So, new legend Scott Rolen. Not going to lie. Pats on the back. I guessed him when SDS revealed that it would be a new legend that's a Hall of Famer. I said, Scott Rolen, come on down. You can go find it on my Twitter. Go follow me there. And hey, I was right. I was pretty convinced it wouldn't be Ichiro. I was 100% convinced it wouldn't be Barry Bonds. And I was 1,000% convinced it wouldn't be A-Rod. Why? Because all of them belong on covers. Plus, they're too big of legends to be revealed mid-cycle. I know a few years ago, Roy Halladay was a mid-cycle reveal. He's a pitcher, and that's no disrespect to Roy Halladay. Surefire, obviously Hall of Famer and an incredible pitcher. But he's not Barry Bonds. He's not A-Rod. And I'd argue he's not Ichiro. So, never for a minute did I suspect it would be them. I was like, okay, so here was my thought process. They said it's a Hall of Famer. It's a new legend. So I used my deduction skills because I'm smart. And I was like, okay, well, they have said they're focusing on early 2000s or late 90s, early 2000s legends this year. Who is a recent Hall of Famer from that time period? We don't have. And Scott Rolen was the only one other than Ichiro. So I was like, bing, it's Scott Rolen. It ain't hard, guys. Sometimes you all think too hard or you don't look at the facts. But either way, Scott Rolen here. Lots of fun this card. Best third baseman in the game, obviously. Will be the best third baseman in the game for at least the next month or two, maybe longer. All depends. They are not going to drop another 99 third baseman for the foreseeable future. That would just be silly. So this is the guy. I'm a big fan of the fact that he is well-rounded. Obviously, he was going to be a good fielder. This is a Gold Glove card. Scott Rolen is one of the best third basemen defensively of all time. They could have chosen a year in which he had better offensive numbers. I believe 2004 was his best offensive season. Maybe there's a world in which they're reserving that season for like a final Omega Scott Rolen, because we know not all 99s are created equal. This is very much an early game 99. And that doesn't poo-poo it. It's still very good. But as you can see, contacts are a good but not great 107 and 103 to start. Again, I have him at P1, so I'm just subtracting. 90 power right, 115 power left, 90 vision, 109 clutch. Those are all good. I'm glad the vision doesn't suck. I'm glad the clutch boosts both of his contact ratings with runners in scoring position. And I'm glad that he's a power hitter against both-sided pitchers. He's not balanced. He's not, or no, he might be balanced. But he's not contact. And 65 speed to start ain't bad either. You're not going to really be swiping bags with them, but you don't have to. He's just got to be able to go first to third, turn a double into a triple in some occasions. So he does everything you need him to do. Quirk-wise, homebody, night player, first pitch hitter, which we love. Breaking ball hitter, that's good. Unfazed, that's good. Situational hitter, I don't know how that even comes into play, but I presume that's good as well. Here's the thing with Scott Rolen. He was expensive as all hell. And if you don't have Scott Rolen, Chase Headley, he's very good. Chris Bryant from mini-season, he ain't bad. Vision's a little low, but he ain't bad. J-Ram, excellent. Bregman, really good. Westberg, good. You know, McMahon is fine. His vision's a little low. He can't run. The free Scott Rolen, he ain't bad. This Wade Boggs for 5K is excellent. This is a really good third baseman. A lot of people love Terry Pendleton. I don't, but a lot of people do. And he's 3K. So you can get by just diggity dang fine without Scott Rolen. Everyone will get there eventually. I advocate for you getting there eventually because this card is fun. But is he a must-have right now for everybody? No. Because let's talk about this collection, because holy Christ, it was expensive. So, for Scott Rolen, you had to have 18 of the 19 vouchers. They added vouchers for Cornerstone, Standout, and Spotlight. Plus, I guess technically a collection for Hannes Wagner. So I knew going into it that Donaldson, Santander, Roki, Leodalis Davris, and Jacob deGrom would be collections, or vouchers rather. That's how it's always worked. Pre-MLB The Show 23, when we had the content model like this, the power creep, the big collections, all the little collections added up to the big one. So I was not surprised at the style and formatting of this collection, just the requirements were a little wild. They added this 91 Hannes Wagner. Good card. We'll start for a lot of people at shortstop or even at third base. Speaking of other third base options, I still prefer Bobby Witt myself. That's just a personal preference. I love Bobby Witt's swing, but Hannes is probably just a better all-around card. Plus, he gives you those secondaries. But what was weird, like I said, is that they added stuff that didn't really have a lot of cards to go with it. So it made it very... There was like a legitimate wall. There was a legitimate wall for some of these cards. So let's look at the ones that were surprising. Again, I'm not counting deGrom, Donaldson, Santander, Roki, or DeVries in this conversation because I knew they'd be part of it. And you don't have to 100% the New Threads collection to get Santander. You don't have to 100% pipeline to get Roki. As you can see, I have guys missing. Let's talk about All-Star first. The one voucher most people probably are not doing. This is expensive. And they wanted you to have 31 All-Star cards. That means you would have to have guys like Goose, 115K, Chipper, World Series reward, 80K, Brian Reynolds, who I have, but 130K, Devers, 100K, Dawson, BR reward, Utley, Chase card, within the All-Star collection. And they want you to have 31 of this. There is a Chase, a BR, a Chase, a World Series program, not a big deal. That's not a big deal. That's a team collection. That's a World Series award, who's now cheap, but, still, he was a World Series award. Multiplayer, this was from a program. Like, there are guys, team collection, a Chase card, a cheap one now, but still a Chase card. A BR reward, team collection. Like, what are we doing here? This was a ludicrous collection to ask people to have 31 of. Ludicrous. I never thought they'd go that high. Go back to the video I did last week. I did not say you'll need 31. I think I maybe said like 27 or 28, which even still is a lot. But holy crap. Holy crap, that one was a lot. Jolt, we knew it would be 15. That was not a surprise because we already had the 15 at launch. Or the expectation that it would be 15 at launch. Contributor, this one was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Most people had just about all of these, I would presume. All the golds are easy to get. The Mariners are an easy collection to fulfill. Same like the Brewers. This one wasn't bad. Obviously, when there are collections involved, it's a little harder than others. This one required Mike Trout to have Mike Napoli. But this one was reasonable. No surprises here. This was fine. Last Ride, this was probably the second easiest one. You had to collect all of them. Oh, no, you had to collect all but one of them. So that means if you didn't have, who would be the most, none of these are even expensive. Both of these are free. Nolan Ryan's 15K, and you would have gotten all these other ones easily. Larry Walker's a collection, but the Cardinals are cheap. Like, so this one was locked in from the start. Not hard, not bad, 100%. This one required a little bit of maneuvering. I was prepared. Because right before this game went to full launch for everybody, I had early access, obviously. I scooped up all of these guys. I scooped up all of the pre-order cards. I scooped them up for like 10K. They're now 20K because people realize you need them. I knew I would need them at some point. I also was curious if on normal game launch, if these prices would skyrocket because they were pre-order packs. Spoiler alert, they did not. So I just held them. And it was smart. Because once I held them, once I made sure I had all these other ones, and once I did the mini season for CC Sabathia, which I did early on, it allowed me to unlock Hannes Wagner, who is a voucher himself. So Hannes Wagner being a voucher was a total surprise. I just thought you'd lock these guys in and that'd be that. So cool. They gave us another card for it. I am appreciative of it. This series is supposed to like celebrate the 20 years of MLB The Show and cover guys and famous players or popular players. Hannes is one of the more popular cards who is kind of, there's some lore with him in the MLB The Show community. So it's cool. It's cool. The rookie one, you needed 10. So all of these but one. So they made it really easy if you didn't have Valenzuela. If you didn't have Ohtani, you can't have Valenzuela. So all you had to do that was difficult was collect the Braves. So really just go get Acuna. The White Sox collection doesn't count for anything. The Astros collection is not that hard. Jordan's a little pricey, but not crazy. The Rays are easy. So this one was not bad at all. Breakout, you needed 7. That's it. I just realized that. You only needed 7? Okay, well, there are 9. So, you could have skipped the Royals, because Bobby Witt's expensive. You could have skipped the Cubs, because Kyle Tucker has been pricey. But otherwise, incredibly attainable, all these cards. So, nice and easy. Veteran, you needed 19. Super duper easy. I didn't even collect Richie Ash Cheeks. And so that means you could have skipped 2. You could have skipped the Mets collection, because Lindor and Soto are expensive, and this BR reward. This one was done appropriately. This one was done great, actually. This one was excellent. So that was easy. Second half heroes. This one is another tough one for some people. 16 is a lot, man. You had to collect all but 2, which I did. Jimmy Rollins BR, Lance Berkman BR. So you had to get everybody but the BR guys. That includes NL West collection. That includes Chase Pack Randy. That includes Padres Diamondbacks. I mean, if you're collecting Chase Headley, you're also collecting these guys, obviously. It includes a mini seasons guy, which thank God for that mini season. It made my life a lot easier. It includes the Reds collections. You got to get Ellie. It includes the Orioles collection. You got to get Gunnar and Adley. This one was an SOB. I was in good shape because I have live series done and I wanted Randy, but this one was an SOB. This one stunk. Postseason, this one, I think most people should have all 7 of these guys, if we're being honest. Marlins collection, easy. Red Sox collection, easy. Sammy Sosa, not expensive. David Robertson, cheap headliner. Finished the Phillies. Everybody has Manny, and Carlton is now $6K because of the World Series pack being in the program. So easy peasy this one is. You needed 6. Oh, you needed 6 and there's 7. So you don't even need Sosa or Carlton or Manny or Ryan Howard. You could skip Ryan Howard, the most expensive collection in this postseason part. Standout. This one was a stinker. A stinky stinker. So they want you to have 5. But they want you to have 5. Okay. So when this launched, there were only 4. There were only 4 standouts in the game. O'Day, who's the entire AL East collection. Don Baylor, who's the entire AL West collection. Paul O'Neill, the Yankees. That means you got to have Judge. And Bob Gibson. So, operating under the assumption that Standout would be a program, because I had some theories early Friday morning, I purchased Bob Gibson. Not expensive. I was like, all right, I got 4. I'm locked. I'm set. Easy peasy. Won't be a problem. And then they said, hey, you need 5. And they dropped a Chase Peck Jorge Posada. I was like, oh, great. I'll never get this one. He's $200K. Then I realized Chris Bryant was a standout, but I had to do a whole ass mini season to get him. So I did. I speed ran a mini season. Thankfully, if you turn off all of the cutscenes and animations and nonsense, it's faster than it used to be. Plus, you could just bunt your way out of games. So, was it a grind that was a little annoying? Yeah, but not terrible. And I got Chris Bryant. But this one is dastardly. This is a sinister part of the collection. This one is near impossible for most people, even setting aside the fact that you might need a chase card Jorge Posada. Some people don't have the AL East done, and that's fine. That's like, I'm not criticizing, but like, that's huge. Some people certainly don't have the AL West done because Trout's in it. Like, this is a toughie. And the Yankees got to have Judge. This one's tough. There's a real world where most people only have one of these guys, and it's Bob Gibson. Tough. Spotlight. I was very surprised they included this, if I'm being honest. Very surprised. I thought The Spotlight would just be its own thing that filtered into the Lightning player and the Retro Lightning player. I never thought it would be part of this. In the future, I do suspect that the Lightning player and the Retro Lightning player will be part of it. Like, if you have... I'm recording this the morning after Eugenio Suarez hit 4 home runs. So, let's just use him as an example. If the Lightning player of the month is Eugenio Suarez, it probably won't be, but let's just say he is. You just collect Suarez as part... He's a voucher. Kind of like Honus Wagner's a voucher. Kind of like Donaldson's a voucher. Suarez will be a voucher. He is the April player of the month or the Spotlight player of the month. He gets the card. That's why I didn't think these guys would be it, because we weren't at that collection point yet. But here we are. I had been keeping up with these guys anyway because I do not want to miss out on the first Retro Lightning card. Given how expensive some of these cards are, I'm really hoping that Retro Lightning card's incredible. And I think it will be. So I didn't want to miss that, so I've been keeping up with it. So I was basically ready, other than getting Raleigh and Molly, who rhyme. I know it's Maley, but the way I said it, it rhymes. Just a weird curveball I wasn't expect to be thrown. Topps now, the fact that you had to have all of them is kind of nutty. Meaning you have to buy them off the market. There were like 3 guys, at least from this week alone, you had to buy off the market. They're not like crazy expensive, thankfully. Like they vary, but like 6K, 7K. But imagine you're missing 8 of them, and they're 8K each. That adds up. That's 64K, quick math, that you might have otherwise been allocating somewhere else. Cornerstone, these are objectively very easy. Just didn't think they'd add it as a program. Or as a, not a program, as a collection voucher. I didn't think. I don't know why. I wasn't thinking, but I also wasn't, like, it never stuck out to me like, oh, definitely Cornerstone. Easy peasy, if you're keeping up with it and deep in the program, or inning program, it's fine. But yeah, just interesting they added that. And that's everything. So, like, there are some really tough ones in here. And the moral of the story to remember is you're not meant to finish this day one. You're not meant to. It is like the Live Series collection, but for Legends and Flashbacks. It is meant to take a while. I am somebody who makes content on this game, solos this game, don't play anything else, play it a lot, am pretty okay at it, and love Diamond Quest. I abuse Diamond Quest. I make a lot of subs from Diamond Quest. You know, a couple lucky pack pulls. On launch, I did spend a little bit of money to help me with Live Series collection. I did not spend enough to complete Live Series collection. That was thousands of dollars. That's ridiculous. I did not do that. I don't judge you if you did, but I did not. So, yes, I augmented my stub bankroll with a little bit of cash early on. But I am in the 1% of people who were able to get him very early. I don't want you to have FOMO. I don't want you to rush to do something brash and pay a bunch of stubs or you swipe your credit card if you don't want to. Scott Rolen will be there for you. This card will get easier and easier with each passing content drop. Let's take the Spotlight program, for example. You needed 12. There are 12 currently. Well, next week, guess what? There's going to be 3 more added to the game. There will be the weekly Spotlight guy in the program, and then 2 of these Spotlight guys in a pack. This number will always be 12. It's not changing to 15. So it automatically just got significantly easier by waiting 1 week. That doesn't even consider a headliner that will probably drop this week. And if they're being nice, which I hope they will, that headliner will be an all-star. Or it'll be a second half hero. Or maybe even a standout. Maybe. I don't know. They've been really chintzy with standouts so far. But if they're being nice, they will drop a headliner that fits one of the buckets people need. You know, at some point, they're going to have to put these pre-order packs in a program somewhere. Or give them out for free. Or put them in the end of the inning program spin thing. It's not a spin. Everyone calls it a spin. It's not a spin. Whatever. You know, these will all become so much more available. People are still working their way to John Donaldson. A lot of people are maybe waiting for a World Series Rewind pack to get to Higo. That will come eventually, and his price at $78K will come down. You know, It's not meant to be done immediately. It's not meant to be done day one. Don't be discouraged. But I was, again, bringing it back, I was stunned at how expensive it was. I've played MLB The Show for years. I knew that it was going to, oh, we're being so nice. You could skip one voucher. I knew that. Like, I even said that last week in the video. So that didn't shock me. But, like, needing, like, 97% of the Legends and Flashbacks in this game was nutty. Nutty! I'm excited for what this means for the future of collections in this game. I will be significantly more prepared moving forward. The fact that they dropped him April 25th, which is the earliest they've ever done a collection like this before, makes me think we might be getting one every 6 weeks. One a month seems a little too much, but like if the next one is first, second Friday in June, that seems kind of nifty. I'm excited for that. And if this card is this good, this early in the power creep, I cannot wait to see whatever the next card is. They've really put an emphasis on new legends with these collections. All of the big collections have been new legends. Beltran, Hodges, Clemens, Rolen. We've got a butt ton of new legends. There are 36 new legends so far announced. I've been keeping track at the Show Gazette. It's my website. Go find it, showgazette.com. And there are plenty of guys, plenty of these new legends who could get crazy 99 collections. I'm not saying every collection will be a new legend. They've never specified that has to be the case. But how neat would it be if we got a super juicy, buff, nasty 99 of somebody else? I'm trying to go through my roster here to see who it could be. Ted Simmons, he'd be a fun one. I know a lot of people don't like his swing. Jason Kipnis, that'd be fun. Plenty of guys. Plenty of guys I would be excited to get my hands on. Pause. You know what I mean. So, that's where I'm going to leave you guys. Just some thoughts on the collection, how surprised I was. Rolen's great, though. Like, Rolen is undoubtedly incredible. At some point, get him. Focus on live series first, but then go get Scott Rolen, please. It's worth your time. Okay? Thank you guys for being here. Love you guys. Going to try to get a video up tomorrow with a little bit of investment advice. I know it's probably a little too late to invest, but just some roster update predictions. But that's that. All right? Love you guys. Good luck getting rolling. I'll see you next time.